It's too late for you to change our blue tomorrow. Too late for you to change. Why do you try? So please help me to face my blue tomorrow. And if you can undo the wrong, undo the right. Oh, if you can undo the wrong, undo the right.
Hey.
Just like that.
Well, terrific. I'm Art Fein. It's Art Fein's Poker Party, coming to you from San Francisco. First time, well, third time on this current series, first time up here with some mighty, terrific guests. Starting on the far left, the person you heard harmonizing and singing a minute ago, we got Chris Isaak. Chris, welcome to the show.
Nice to
Chris,
be
you're doing real well right now
here. Yep.
with Wicked Game. I know it's a big top 10 record in England.
Yeah, they're selling some records over there, and I guess finally playing me on the radio over here. So.
Yeah, it's about time. It's from the Wild at Heart soundtrack,
Right.
and off of this Heart-Shaped World album, which has been out like a year, right?
I like that when you hold that up. That looks good.
Actually, this thing's produced by Eric Jacobson, a name I recall. Now, was it Love and Spoonful?
Yeah, Love and Spoonful. He did the Love and Spoonful, and now he's to blame for me.
Well, that's terrific. Let me say, next to you, we've got Kenny Dale Johnson.
Hey,
Kenny,
good to be here.
the man on the sticks. Well, no sticks tonight, just brushes, I guess.
Brushes.
But you're the drummer in the Chris Isaak band.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Were you originally in Silvertone also?
Well, I've been with Chris since '85, so it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Seems longer, doesn't it?
Gee, it does.
Well, that's terrific. Welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
And next to you, a symphony in silver and black, we got Pearl Harbor. Pearl,
Howdy.
welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you. You know, I remember your name a lot around 1979, 80, 81.
Yeah,
When-
that was when I was 12.
when we had, I should be prepared.
There it is.
Preparation is the key. It's like the secret of my success. This is an early album, from 80,
That's from '79,
it's on Warner Brothers.
right? Warner Brothers with the Explosions. That was an American band I had. And then in '80, I moved to London and I made that album. Don't Follow Me, I'm Lost
Is this
Too.
album cover a direct takeoff on somebody else's?
No, it was
So it
just
looks like a
inspired
50s
by.
June Christie kind of.
Yeah, it was like a Ella Fitzgerald sort of type of artwork and cover. It's definitely a 50s jazzy kind of cover, even though the contents aren't at all 50s or jazzy.
And is this the same one?
That's the same,
The same one, the British cover?
album, only a British cover.
And by that point, you were living in England.
Yes, I was living in London.
And what does that leave us? This one?
That's the fourth album. There's one before
Oh,
that.
That's down here.
How come
And-
that's your Japanese band? What is that?
This is the third one.
Yeah, this is the third album I did, and that's with English guys, and that's for Japan only. That was
Is that
released
right?
in Japan only. And then that one is on Island Records, and that's with English and Japanese musicians. I had a Japanese band. Those guys, I had them for a while, and then they sort of went back to Japan. They didn't speak English, so we didn't communicate that well.
Well, so you've been in England for quite a while. You stayed there 6, 7, or 8 years.
Yeah,
huh?
nearly 8 years. Yeah, I had a really good time over there. There's a lot of rockabilly fans over there. They're real traditionalists. Did you see them over there, Chris? The rockabilly kids, and they only wear 50s clothes, and
In
they
Japan,
got no
Or in
in
England?
England,
Oh, England.
and they have their own clubs,
Yeah.
and they don't talk to anybody else.
You were doing music though in Japan. I was
Yeah.
like I had a flat top. I was on the boxing team, so
Is that right?
I didn't have really known many musicians right then.
Wow. Jeez, that's a real rock and roll heritage too. All these boxers, the Burnett brothers and Jackie Wilson and all that stuff.
I don't know what the link is, but it's as soon as you have any other option, you get out of it.
And you were from Stockton,
Yeah.
correct? And was this in high school or after high school that you got in the boxing racket?
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because when I got back, I saw you play with what was it, Joe Strummer. You came out and sang and played, and then you sang Fujiyama Mama, which I thought was like really cool. And I went back to Stockton and I went to the Tower Records, and I asked, I think it was Tower Records, I went in and I asked somebody, you got Pearl Harbor doing Fujiyama Mama?
They said, what the hell are you talking about, boy?
You know the guy. Exactly. That's it.
Yeah, that wasn't exactly a hit, but I'm glad you liked it.
It was a hit with us.
Oh, thank you.
It's a hit with me too. I mean, I was looking for any kind of hint of rockabilly. Of course, you dipped in and out of it. I mean, you weren't
Yeah,
a rockabilly
that's right,
guy
that's
gal
right.
by any stretch.
That's true. I have to mix my 70s with my 50s.
But what about your 90s? I mean, right now you're back in San Francisco area,
Right?
and starting up again.
Yeah, and now I'm going to be mixing some hip-hop with my country and my rockabilly, so we'll see what happens.
So are you recording yet?
I'm about to start next month with a guy from Sacramento named Bongo Bob, and I've been working with Chris and Jim, Chris, guitar player named Jimmy Wilsey. I've been working with him. Did you know
Does
that,
he-
Chris?
No, does
I've
he?
been working with
What
Jimmy.
does he do? Does he, when he works with you, does he actually touch you at any time?
Touch me? No, he's got his fingers on the computers
That's
at
good.
all
Just
times.
keep it that way. You'd be lucky. You keep your
He's a computer whiz, and I didn't even
Yeah.
know that. You
yeah.
know?
Don't let him tell you. Don't let him give you that one about the computer needs to cool off. Let me turn off the lights.
No. My favorite one is I don't have that piece of equipment yet. It's coming.
Yeah.
We'll be able to finish the tape when I get this other piece of equipment.
Is this all yours?
Yes, it's mine. It's bought and paid for.
Just watch.
No, it's mine.
It's very nice. Speaking of, I was asking whether your cover had a derivation on Chris's. This is there was no album cover to compare to the first Chris Isaak album, but
Yeah.
since
I got ripped off on that too. Show that other. Is there another cover there?
well, what I have here is the
See.
Elvis box
Let's see
set
that.
with a
You get a good idea. Somebody ripped you off, man.
yeah, that's true. This Elvis compilation probably came out after yours.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, I know that the picture that you based your cover on is the "Don't I Beg of You" picture sleeve.
That's right. I ripped it off, but I didn't think anybody'd catch me. Thanks a lot for showing everybody.
So, anyways, things are really zooming for you. This is terrific. Is it translated into like a quadrupled work schedule
Well,
or
you know,
anything?
it's like for Kenny and I, it's really been a change because we've got to make all new friends.
Yeah, because now you guys are so stuck up and conceited with all your success.
Pardon, did you say something?
Yeah, right. He's pretending like he's acting, but
Here, give me a hand. Give me your hand, really. I really
No,
feel the
that's
power
okay.
emanating from me.
You're upsetting her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What? Let me get some
Power
standard.
has made us mad.
Let me get some standard questions.
No, it's the same thing. We're playing the same bars, so I don't think anything's really changed except they're playing us on the radio.
Let me ask you some standard questions, which is, what's the first record you ever bought?
I mean, I try to think of a good record that is indicative of what I like to listen to, but probably what I first bought was something like El Kabong or something like one of those cartoon records, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
I see. Okay, first rock and roll record you bought.
I think it was Meet the Beatles. Somebody, my parents gave it to me with a Beatle wig, which I actually wore, and I thought I was fooling people into thinking
That you were a
children
Beatle.
are incredibly stupid, and I thought that people actually thought I was in the Beatles.
some children are incredibly
Yeah,
stupid.
well,
What about being up there in Stockton? What was the first rock-like concert you went to?
the first concert that I went to that I saw like a live band, I think, was the Tubes at my university.
Pretty late.
And they had tickets that had a Tubes logo on it, and I drew the tickets like by hand, copied them, and made a bunch for my friends to sneak in.
Wow.
And we got in, and I still had one of those hand-drawn ones, and I showed it to Prairie Prince from the Tubes because he worked with us, a lot. And I showed it to him, and he went, "You went to that trouble to get into one of our concerts?" I went, "Yeah, man."
That's terrific.
That was pretty cool. They played, the theme from the. What's that theme? Da 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 da.
Perry Mason.
Perry Mason theme. They played that, and they had a big wall of screens, TV screen, and they had Perry Mason on those. And I thought, this rock and roll is cool. This is cool stuff.
So, Kenny, what's your first record you bought?
Hit the Road, Jack.
You know who wrote that? I just
Per-
haven't-
Percy Mayfield.
I just found that out because it's so atypical of him. That's what
Percy,
I was,
right?
Yeah, Percy Mayfield.
All right. I'm a fan of Percy's.
Yeah, me too. What about the first rock show you went to?
It's either Porter Wagner or Steppenwolf. I'm not
Well,
sure.
Whoa!
Sure it's a-
Wait a minute.
Ah,
What-
Well, Porter Wagner came to my high school. I'm from a little town in Texas, And he actually came and we freaked out because he had the big
play?
TV show. Yeah, he had the big TV show.
I'm afraid I was watching TV in those days, but I don't remember the big TV show. That was the Porter Wagner
Yeah,
show?
and it was, and so he came to our town, and no one came to our town.
Did Dolly come too?
I don't know, she must have, but I don't have any memory of it.
You don't
know?
remember Dolly Parton
No,
coming?
she didn't come then because
Yeah,
would've
really,
remembered
Kenny.
Dolly.
I
Well,
know
Kenny.
you.
Well, I was more like 8, and it was Speck Rose on the clown on the bass. I was, he had the yellow and green plaid.
Wow, so what was the name of this small town in Texas?
It's called Borger.
Borger, in case I'm going through there.
Yeah, you won't be, but it's by Amarillo.
So Pearl, same question, first record?
I think it was a Rolling Stones record, but I can't really remember.
Uh-huh.
I was living in Germany.
How come? Your parents moved around?
Yeah, well, my dad was in the Army till I was, I don't know, like 6 or 7, and then he retired over there and stayed living, so
Is that right?
I lived in Germany till I was 17.
Huh.
And I think the first concert I ever saw was Rod Stewart with the Faces, and that was really great.
But that would be in Germany?
Uh-huh.
Wow, so you cut your teeth over there, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
With Heinz and people like that,
Rock
right?
and roll.
Heinz and,
Heinz and Udo and...
Lolita. I'm trying to think of the German hits. Lolita doing Sailor. Of course, that was before your time, probably.
I think so. I don't remember a lot.
Dankeschön with
Give me
Dankeschön.
Dinah hand.
Dankeschön.
Oh yeah, I used to sing that with Leland the Snakes
In
So
German.
you had a
in
band.
German.
You had a band before you were Pearl Harbor in the explosion.
Well, I was in a band. The first thing I ever did was I was in the Tube show that Chris was talking about. I used to tap dance with them. And then Leland the Snakes was an all-girl band. And we played in L.A. in the late 70s.
How did you get to San Francisco from Germany? Is that where you went?
I quit school and just moved to San Francisco because some friends of mine lived out here, and I wanted to be a rock star.
Well, you did.
Well, sort of. I've got the right clothes at any rate.
Let me go back to Chris and Kenny about you still got your guitar in hand. The current hit, "Wicked Game." I wondered if you could do a little of that for us.
Didn't even get a chance to ask us twice, did you?